Hey gang, what's up? Just Ehren here, Question Period Canada, wondering what is up with grocery prices. What would happen if we took a good hard look at what is going on? Like, we took a look back and saw what they were talking about today in Parliament and how they were deflecting the questions back then, how the CEOs of the big companies were. Let's take a peek. Galen, Weston, Sobeys will not look good in these videos, but they don't look good. Like, imagine how much groceries cost. You guys know at least as much about this stuff as I do, but do you trust these guys? I don't. They're big CEOs, and I think they're just lying to Canadians.
Our minister promised to tax the excess profits of corporate grocery stores if they fail to stabilize grocery prices.
Sure getting desperate if he has to.
As well, they failed to stabilize prices, and the Liberals again broke their promise. The Liberals announced instead another study on food prices. Canadians don't need another study to know that they're being gouged by corporate greed.
Speaker, we will take no lessons from these conservatives, Mr. Speaker. Canadians have heard the leader of the opposition when he advocate for crypto to Canadians. When it comes to groceries, Canadians are saying thanks, but no thanks, leader of the opposition. We know what we're doing, Mr. Speaker, and yesterday was the first steps. We call on the big groceries to be part of the solution. We express the frustration of millions of Canadians. We ask them to come with concrete plans to stabilize prices. On this side of the House and this caucus, we'll fight for Canadians, Mr. Speaker.
Through media exposure, to help rebuild public trust.
In many ways, your company Loblaw has been made out to be the boogeyman or a scapegoat of sorts. Do you think that is the case? Do you buy what the opposition is saying, that you're this sort of predatory company on Canadians? How do you respond to that?
I hope my comments in committee today were clear. We recognize that this is a very difficult challenge. We also, are absolutely confident that Loblaw is doing the right things in very difficult circumstances.
A grocery code of conduct. Sorry, I have to interject here. I'm sorry, Mr. Medline. I only have another minute and a half left here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Weston, will you commit to the grocery code of conduct like Mr. Medline has with Empire?
So we're active participants in the development of the code of conduct, and let me just add, a healthy supplier community, a healthy grower community is absolutely vital to our industry. We work hard every day to support local producers, and you do get, there are concerned producers, and there are also those who write to me and they say that our business has been transformational in terms of expanding their access to new markets and new products, that are being sold all across the country. We also have to strike the right balance between between what we pay our growers, what we pay our suppliers, and ultimately, the food prices that we charge our customers.
Guys, I think we're in trouble. FPC is the only line of defense against grocery prices. It's ridiculous. I don't trust this guy at all.
More from them, and I hope they're watching today. When I called them in Ottawa, I think this was an historic moment. Never, I'm told, in recent history that the five top grocers in the country, whether it's Sobeys, Loblaw, Metro, and Walmart and Costco, were called. And what I did at this time, senators, and I hope you're behind me, I expressed the frustration of millions of Canadians on a weekly basis who have to do grocery. And I told them that we expect more from them. We understand it's a complex supply chain. Everyone understands that. But we expect them also to give a break to Canadians. And we said, you need to be with us.
Do you trust FPC to take care of grocery prices? We'll see what these Liberals do. This Trudeau cabinet is corrupt. Like and subscribe. Canadian Politics, right here.
Order. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
He's sure getting desperate if he has to blame Conservative campaign workers for the fact that he raised food prices, especially when, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister's new marketing director, Max Veliket, did marketing for Loblaws for 4 years. Don Guy, the Prime Minister's chief pollster, works for GT & Co., which collects checks from Loblaws. as does Dan Arnold, his other pollster, getting checks from Loblaws. Are they the ones that forced him to quadruple the carbon tax on our food?
Towards the highest price items when there's a perfectly competitively priced chicken, right next door.
One indicator is fidelity. Now, my client has not pursued sex outside of this marriage.
Nor in it.
I got this one.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, he makes it too easy. He talks about caucus meetings and Loblaws. Get this. The Prime Minister had someone who is his Director of Caucus Services named Julie DeWolf, who is now a lobbyist for Loblaws. Not only that, he digs up a lot of dirt. His chief dirt digger, Kevin Bosch, left his office so that he could go and work as a lobbyist for Loblaws. Would he like us to continue going down the list of all of his Loblaws lobbyists, Mr. Speaker?
Blah, blah, blah. At 8:30, unless you want to sit at the bar.
And we fully accept and push through those that are credible and realistic. And so,
respectfully, sorry, sir, I only have 20 seconds left.
Okay.
I have one more quick question, but I would challenge you all to do better for farmers, because we don't want to see our family produce farms go out of business in this country. And because of the fees that they pay you, that is the #1 contributing factor to them going out of business. But my quick question is, will you support and participate following any adjudicated disputes under the code? Will you commit to a fully transparent and publicly available disclosure? It's a quick yes or no.
we're certainly committed to developing an effective code that's fair and balanced on all sides.
But I do find it interesting. Many of the recommendations that we've had from previous witnesses as part of this study have said part of the reason for food inflation is inflationary spending, lack of fiscal discipline, and uncompetitive tax regime like the carbon tax. But unfortunately, the leader of the NDP is completely complicit in those policies, which are helping to drive up the costs of food. So I'm finding it interesting that he's here today to try and fight this thing, but he's part of the problem. But to the witnesses, you had mentioned about the grocery code of conduct, and I do find it interesting that we had Mr. McCain here yesterday, and his comments were that it's really not going to have a lot of teeth once this is in. And certainly maybe from your perspective, without having Costco and Walmart, I didn't even think of Amazon, as participants in that grocery code of conduct, do you believe that it will have some validity or some pressure for the grocery stores to start to be more transparent? And yeah, go ahead, Mr. Minister.
Can be a very positive, part of the industry, but it has to be developed in a fair and balanced way, and we're actively contributing to the conversations that are, hopefully going to get us there.
The flailing of the Conservatives right now as they do anything to try to distract from the fact that their campaign manager, the leader of the opposition's top advisor, is and still gets contributions and paychecks from Loblaws. This is an issue. When he has stood up and pretended to care about food prices, when we hear the exact same talking points come out of Galen Weston's mouth as out of the leader of the opposition's mouth on some invented connection between the price on pollution and grocery prices, we know exactly who is behind the Conservative Party.
It's broken down when you provide that confidentially to the Securities Commission and the Competition Bureau?
No, our financial results and our financial disclosures are public, and you can see them. The Securities Exchange can see them as they are published. I think the point I was trying to make was simply that we are held to a standard of accuracy. They have to be accurate. They have to properly represent what's actually going on in the business, and the comments and the color that we provide also need to be accurate. And so when we provide the color and commentary that we do, both written, and in verbal statements, they can be relied upon as accurate. And that's all I'm emphasizing for the commission.
The highest cost of living increase in 4 decades. Interest rates have been rising steeply, and prices on all goods and services have been rapidly increasing. It is no solace to struggling Canadians buying groceries to know that food inflation is a global phenomenon driven by higher commodity and
18 months, this has affected just about everything. Global food prices have risen quickly, putting significant strain on Canadian families, both in terms of their finances and overall health. It's a vitally important issue for Canadians and deserves the attention of this committee. For months, a great deal has been said about the role Canadian grocers play in food price inflation.
I'm Ehren. This is Question Period Canada. We're just trying to figure out Canadian federal politics. What we learn, we'll share with you, obviously, but we are just trying to learn. I don't know more than you. Like, you probably know more than me. We're just learning together. Like and subscribe, everybody. Like, we're having fun. We've got a great community building here. We do the live question periods every day, every single day, and lots of other types of videos. It's fun. We have a good community growing here. It's awesome. Check us out. Like, subscribe. I'm Ehren. Check out next video. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. FPC needs to remember, we're going to see the question. This is quite an answer.
Canadians watching at home, they're seeing the conservative ideology in full display, Mr. Speaker. These folks are so against climate change, Mr. Speaker, that they'll go after anyone and any organization that wants to fight climate change, even an organization that was voted 20 years ago by Parliament, Mr. Speaker. Now they want to attack the integrity of one of the most respected audit firm in this country, Mr. Speaker. On this side of the House, we'll get to the bottom of this, but we'll keep investing in clean technology. We'll keep investing to fight climate change. We'll keep investing in Canadians.
What was the question?
Canadians want to know, where did the missing millions go and who got rich?
That's a very weird answer to a very normal question. Like and subscribe. Canadian Politics right here.